This one we share with the local people.
Yeah.
The cartel says we will not harm the visitor.
Yes, that guy was talking about the cartel, but as you can see, he's very calm. He has no problems. I just want to make it very clear that in Mexico, the cartel exists. Not only one, but there's all sorts of cartels. But guess what? They actually don't bother tourists. They're actually, honorable in that sense. Just like I said in the video, they are making money just like the government is. And if you don't mess with anybody, you're not going to be messed with. You know, the United States tried a large campaign in the 1990s and the 2000s, making Mexico look so absolutely bad, you know, saying that it's absolutely dangerous, do not go there, when, you know, it's kind of hypocritical because I'm not even able to walk in some streets in Los Angeles. But anyways, this video is going to be about life in a Mexican town, showing you guys a townhouse and all of that, all right? So enjoy the video. Good morning. I have shown you what a ranch dacha looks like in Mexico. And today you're going to get to see what a beautiful town dacha looks like. We made it out before the sunrise. You can see the sun is rising right above us. We are in Mexico, the land of the people of the sun. And by the way, my friends, Ksenia is not here, but I have my father who's going to be recording for us. Well, buenos dias, Rafa.
Buenos dias.
Let's go, guys. This is the main entrance to the town. And I want you guys to notice immediately how quiet it feels. You know, you have these two cars that are maybe leaving the town. As we're driving to the center, my friends, I want you to know two things. Is that yes, there is a tourist problem, but it's not so bad. And second, the Mexican people are very hospitable. They're very kind. They're very accepting to tourists. But I have a feeling that there's maybe almost half the population here is from Canada, from France, from Italy, from the United States, from outside of Mexico. And that's probably something that you don't know. You probably don't know that Mexico is filled with foreigners, right? Now the pavement has changed. In typical Mexican towns, you have this rock road. Most of the roads are made of rock in small towns. And in the mornings, you're going to see that the street is wet because people love to sweep their streets out in a small town. We're here at the entrance of the city center kiosk region where everybody basically comes and gathers. Now, what I can tell you right now is there's plenty of more tourists, like I told you, than native people. But you can see this beautiful artwork, which represents a lot of towns in Mexico. It's absolutely beautiful. And would you mind telling us where you're from, please?
I'm from Kelowna, British Columbia, Canada.
What brings you to this part of Mexico?
The town and the people.
Yeah. Can you tell us a little bit about the town? What captivates you?
Tranquil, quiet, not busy, tranquil.
Yeah. Tranquilo. He's trying to say it's very tranquil.
See.
Now, a lot of people obviously in the West believe that Mexico is full of turbulence, but obviously not, right?
No. You know, we spoke earlier about, you know, trouble, and I've been coming here 20 years. I have never not felt safe, never. I drive when I'm in Mexico.
Yeah.
I believe that there's good and bad in every country in the world.
Culture. Yeah. Is there anything that you would like to tell perhaps somebody who's watching who's not Mexican or Canadian, something that you would like to say about this town?
This is one of the nicest Mexican towns I have ever had the privilege of visiting.
Yeah.
I love it so much here that I just built a 2-bedroom casa here. And even though Canada is beautiful, we are going to live in this town for 6 months of the year. I want to tell you how I found Lo de Marcos and how we're passing it on for generation to generation. My mom and dad, who are too old now to come here, they're in their 90s, they introduced me to Lo de Marcos 25 years ago when it was nothing.
Wow.
And now I am bringing my children who are 30s, and I'm introducing my kids here, and they love Lo de Marcos, so we just keep passing on.
It was a pleasure to find out about you and your story.
Nice to meet you.
Please never stop coming. Please
I will
never stop talking about this place in Mexico.
Not.
Because it's people like you who change the world. You know, a lot of people, like I told you, have a bad idea about Mexico, but in reality, this is Mexico, an exchange of culture. Thank you again.
This is a beautiful experience. Love it here.
Gracias.
Thank you.
I'm standing here at a kiosco. This is the ultimate center of every Mexican town. Now every kiosco is built differently. This is where we usually had our events. This is where we had our gatherings. Our people would come together. Now it's a little bit different. Why? Because I'm 34 years old. Hey, hello. But by the way, where are you from?
Pickleball Nation.
Pickleball Nation. We have tourists here in this town. Back when I was young, we never saw tourists. And it's actually very fascinating the amount of people that are here. I guess they're playing pickleball, something that I bet you the natives don't know anything about. Yeah, you know, this is what I appreciate when tourists actually give back to the community.
Oh, sure.
Because, you know, there's some countries where this doesn't happen.
This town is amazing. I've lived in 3 or 4 coastal towns. This is the best. Yeah. This one we share with the local people.
Yeah.
The cartel says we will not harm the visitors.
Yeah.
I go, thank you very much.
I tell the people all the time that are watching, like, they're scared of the cartel, but the cartel is actually, they don't want any problem with tourism because that actually brings money to Mexico and them, obviously.
And they do their business. It may not be a good business, but they leave us alone.
Yeah.
And they leave the merchants alone.
Yeah, that's
beautiful. They
beautiful.
don't charge a tax to the merchants.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much. Well, that is something that you guys were probably not expecting. Tourists talking about the cartel, right? But this is life in Mexico. They exist out here. As long as you don't get in their way, as long as you're not provoking anybody, you're going to be left alone. This man here, he was telling us that the cartels don't even tax the people who are cooking. They don't tax tourists. By tax, I mean that they're not like charging you to live amongst the Mexican people. Now, I will say that it is best to always stay clear of these kind of things. Even speaking about it can cause me problems, but I'm doing it respectfully. I know my boundaries. I'm in a small town. There's absolutely no worries. I want no trouble, and the cartels and their people, they're not gonna start any problems. This is contrary to what you guys might believe. A lot of people in Russia might be scared to travel to Mexico because of these type of problems, but I assure you, nobody's going to bother you. All right, everything's clean out here. This is going to be much cleaner than a city. This is going to be much cleaner than a bustling city. Why? Because like I told you, the people like to sweep, and the town wants to keep it clean. There's many tourists behind me. There's many tourists playing. If it gets dirty, if it loses that beauty, it's going to lose its tourism, right? What do you guys think? Comment down below. Did you expect a small town to be this clean? We're still here at the center and they're still playing pickleball. You could see the beautiful designs, right? The colors that you see. Mexico is not like you see in the movies where it's that yellow screen. You obviously see the blue skies. You see the different colors here. You guys have to forget and get that out of your mind. Mexico is not that filter in Hollywood movies. The same as Russia is not only cold. Here's another example why leaving a city is much better, because in a small town, the walls are not going to be covered by graffiti, right? You're going to see very much a very clean society. You're going to see even streets that are much cleaner. This is something that I'm going to repeat. Yes, of course, the streets are perhaps rocks, but you're not going to see the nastiness that you'll find in Guadalajara. In a future video, I'm going to be showing you what city life is like. I've already showed you, like I said, the ranch. We're doing the town right now, and you're going to get to see the biggest differences between Mexican ranches, Mexican towns, and Mexican cities. I prefer a town life. It is right in the middle between a city. It has everything that you need, electricity, internet, and all those things. But it's not going to be dirty, filled with crime and crazy people. You're going to be shocked at what you see when you get to Guadalajara. This is the middle of the street we're going to walk. That is a papaya tree. Everything's nice and calm. It is about 21 degrees right now. Nice, perfect weather. Check this house out. I want you guys to understand that right now we are in absolute winter in Mexico, at least in this part of the country. The temperatures will go from 20 degrees to 30 degrees. This is the winter here in this town. And the biggest reason why these tourists are here, well, is for that good weather. They're coming from like Canada, from the United States and France, Italy, you know, from very cold places that have very cold winters. So I don't understand why I haven't met one Russian yet. Guys, if you don't like that cold, you can come be here in Mexico. Behind me is the ocean. You see that? You guys can come here and leave Sludanka for winter and come visit Mexico. Let's keep looking around the town. You're gonna get to see the Pacific Ocean and see how miserable a Mexican winter is. One of the bad things about living next to the ocean is floods and stuff like this. Believe it or not, the ocean water does get to this part of the town, and you can see how far it is. It's about, ¿qué son como 200 metros? It's about 200 meters from here. But the surges come, guys, and it floods this street. They're actually trying to fix this street so that this doesn't happen anymore. This is what life in a small town is like. That's the trash collection point. But we're gonna get to the ocean and continue showing you some of the town. Now, if you think that the trash was bad, guys, in a small town, I'm telling you, it's very clean. Here we have the trash men already picking up every single bag they're going to see. These guys are gonna work all day, and if you think again that, you know, some towns are isolated, I'm guaranteeing you that this town is much cleaner than Sludanka by far. And I'm sorry to say it, guys, but you know, Russian towns, they throw trash absolutely random places. Well, we walked from the center of the town. It's only been about 5 minutes. And here we have the Pacific Ocean. Right across from here is Vladivostok. Before we go back into town, I want to show you some of the ocean. And we'll probably go inside of the water, guys. It's only about 9 in the morning, but I guarantee you that water is much warmer than Baikal water. So we're going to continue walking and showing you what the beach is like. We have some natives enjoying the beach already. In the afternoon, this is going to be filled with hundreds of tourists, believe it or not. Hundreds and hundreds of tourists. You see the style of architecture here? Just pay attention, because when we get to our family dacha house, you're going to see a lot of similarities between these houses and the houses that we're staying in right now. Don't worry, they're going to come pick up the trash. Rest assured they will get it. More columns, more beautiful colors. The design is much different than what you'll find in a ranch, of course, but this is the life out here, my friends. It's very peaceful. It's very safe. You'll never run into any problems out here. I guarantee it. Never. The rock designs. You saw that woman leave her house, right? You see the house behind me. You saw her age. This woman is about in her 80s, right? This house was there before her. I have to say that this is one of the original houses in the town. We'll say it's 100 years old. Did you see what she was doing when she was leaving? She was doing prayers for herself, maybe for her family. This is the culture here. This is the original culture. When the Spanish came, they gave us the religion of Christianity. And the people, the older people, are absolutely Christians. And I'll tell you what, I had a little tear in my eyes. I saw her do that, because this is not existing anymore. The younger generation, let's say, okay, they're not religious, but they believe in nothing. I also want to talk about the top of this house. Look at the roof, look at the style of it. It's very humble, right? Because to the left, if you pan a little bit this way, this is a more modernized house. So we have a modern house next to an older house. Very humble people are still living in these small towns in Mexico. Right? We got these for 195 pesos. This is about $11 or $10. I don't know what it is in rubles, but we'll have it on the screen for you. In my opinion, for a small town, for an emergency, it's not bad, okay? This is not bad. I don't want you guys to think that this is expensive, actually. Could you imagine you don't bring some of these and you have no way to getting into the ocean or walking on the beach? Well, now we have it for $10. These will last me probably 2 to 5 years if I take care of them. This is a good investment, guys. All right, I feel really, really cool. They're really comfortable. Only in a small town, guys. Let's keep walking. What is Mexico mostly known for? A lot of people say burrito, taco, like, yeah, okay. To sum that up, it's their food. And right now you're gonna get to see some typical town food. It's very common for many people in their house to be cooking on the street like this. This is the sidewalk. You're gonna get to see how they make quesadillas or tacos. I'm gonna order something so you get to see the price, so you get to see the process, all right? Una de pollo, por favor, la primera. Ahí mi papá le dice la de él.
Ese de pollo.
Sí, eso es de pollito. ¿Y la hoja de qué?
Champiñones, para llevar.
Eso de champiñón. Este es el champiñón.
So she's putting cheese, and this is mushrooms, guys. A lot of Russian people like to eat mushrooms. Well, here you could have a quesadilla with cheese and mushrooms. The different ingredients is, this one is pig with green sauce. Absolutely delicious. And I want you to pay attention in what the food is being held in. This is typical plates of the region. This is the mushrooms. And this is, ¿esta cuál es?
Rajas.
The rajas. This is basically like cactus, guys. A lot of this type of food you guys already eat, but in different styles.
¿Con todo?
Hey, por favor.
Lechuguita, lechuguita, cebollita, la salsita esta,
Y más sabor, la gente le va a seguir
y al
más
final
sabor.
el quesito.
All right, well, now it's time to eat. Like I said, he got his from mushroom and cheese, obviously, because it's a quesadilla. Mine is chicken and cheese. It's drowned in tomato sauce. On top it has lettuce, onion, and special cream. This is amazing. The service in a small town is just amazing. The food is just amazing. If you could travel to Mexico, do it. All right, well, as my father plays with the cat, I'm going to take the last bite. And I'm telling you right now, the food was absolutely delicious. This is a taste that you're not going to get anywhere else in the world, unless, of course, it's us cooking for you in the future in that Moscow restaurant. But I'll tell you, the Mexican ingredients are very, very fresh. Everything is really, really delicious and made right as you order. That's exactly how you will leave your plate. If you come to eat in this town, I left a little bit mess, but absolutely devoured that. So delicious. Look at him, look at him. This is the cat of the business. He loves to get pet, I guess. Guys, we had that delicious breakfast, right? That was 70 pesos. It's about $4 in the United States. For me, it's worth it. It was fresh. I'm a little bit full. That's enough for me. It was basically $2 for each person. Now, I'll tell you what, I don't know the price in rubles, but I'll look for it and I'll put it on the screen for you. What did you guys think about the town? What did you guys think about the streets, you know, the ambiance of the town, the vibes? Please let me know in the comment section. But now has come the time that you guys get to see our family dacha. I hope you guys are ready. I don't think it's going to be what you expect. So let's go. I'll see you there. Well, you've already seen a lot of these houses. In reality, they are like dachas. Why do I say that? Well, you heard the man in the center of the town. They don't actually live here all year round. And well, the house that I'm going to show you is basically our family dacha. This is where our entire family can come for 4 to 6 months at a time, or however long you need to, right? Where, depending on where you live in Mexico or around the world, it's not like you're going to be living in that part of the world all the time. You want to take a vacation. Well, we have our dacha style in a town, and it's time to see ours. Now, it might not be exactly what you thought, because in Russia, you know, a dacha is probably a smaller house than this. But I'm going to be showing you inside. I'm going to be showing you the attributes of the house outside of the yard and all of these things. You're going to get to see the real townhouse here in Mexico. All right, well guys, we're here in the front of the house. What I want you to pay attention to is the curvature of the roof. You saw this is something that I was talking about earlier in the town, the typical style of these wavy roofs. This is going to hang down, and obviously these are not the cement columns, but these are much more better decorated. The columns and the wavy roofs, you know, it's a beautiful thing here in Mexico to keep the tradition alive. Do you see those domes on the top? Mexican people love the lights coming into the house. That is not the only one, because there's one here on the left. Now, if you follow me, you're also going to be able to see the second dome. This is the front of the house. This is what you're going to be presented with. Just like in the ranch video, this is a giant courtyard here, right? The floor is made of rock and some lava, some volcano rock. But this is the courtyard. Every Mexican house has an open courtyard so that the people can come in, so that the people can enjoy, so that you can come and visit this beautiful townhouse in Mexico. By the way, guys, let me know, comment down below if this is what you expected when I said we were going to see a dacha house in a town in Mexico. I know that for some of you it might seem a little bit over the top, or maybe it seems maybe below average, but in reality, in Mexico you can make your dreams come true. If you work hard enough, you can make something like this, because just like in Russia, most of this stuff here was made by hand by our family. This is a true style of Mexican living, doing it with your own hands. Just like we saw in the ranch house, in my tío Roberto's house, you're going to find a pool, of course. This is a typical Mexican style, because we love being in the rivers, we love being in the lakes. And what happens? Well, you can bring that lake into your house via pool. Now, did you expect there to be a pool in this house and at a ranch house? Let me know. You guys saw the pool here, but to the left, this is kind of like an outhouse for washing yourself. You know, you might have gone to the ocean, then you might want to wash your behind. Well, inside there's a shower, there's 2 toilets. It's all typical as well. The design of it, look at the design of it. This is the Mexican traditional style, which you're going to keep hearing from me, because a lot of these foreign people might come and build, you know, something that's different. I mean, I hope that some of you guys are watching, and when you travel to somewhere else, try to build according to the culture. Don't make it look modern and crazy. Don't bring your culture. Keep the culture of the land. This is the patio section. You see the arches on the top for sustainability, and the columns in the middle. This is typical beautiful design and architecture. Now, the material that's used will make it look very organic and very home-like, right? The tile on the floor, the design of the doors. Look at that beautiful roof. And because this is a family house, there's you can put games here, and you can put whatever you need. Just the whole design of this house is very beautiful to me. Now we're going to go inside. You might hear an echo, because actually houses in Mexico, like townhouses, they're built very high, typically much higher than a normal city house. So let's turn the camera around and show you exactly what I'm talking about. This is the door that we came in through. That is the side door, because we came in through the backyard. And there's the pool and the outside patio. This is the inside living room. This is where the guests will sit. Now, again, this is a family house. It's not decorated for one particular family. When people come and visit, let's say my uncles or anybody else, this room would be absolutely filled. Those turn into beds. So everything you see here, you can fit about 30 people here. Believe it or not, Mexicans were really good at fitting people. The inside, the roof, look at that. Look at that beautiful brick laying. This is so typical. And the same arches that you saw outside are arches in the living room, which hold windows. So you can actually open up these windows like this and slide the second one out, and you're absolutely outside, right? Very traditional style of windows in Mexico. Modern look, but traditional style, because in the old days you used to be able to come out through windows like this. So what do you guys think about that? This is the living room. More arches on this side. And just like I'm telling you, as we're walking into the kitchen, the reason why this looks so empty and it's not home-like, it's because it's for everyone. A town dacha for a family is meant to host everyone, right? Here you can just bring the entire family. All of the people, the heads of the family actually design the house. This is designed to everybody's image, so it accommodates everybody who's going to come and visit. Do you guys remember those domes outside? This is how the domes look like on the inside. You see the sitting area is right beneath the dome. The dome is up here. Absolutely traditional. Again, look at the design of the brick. In my opinion, it's just fascinating. Right? And here you have another small window that leads to the outside. But the sitting area brings all the light that you need. The sun rises from this side. So you can imagine having breakfast. You open up all of the windows and your family's just bringing in all that sun. The similarities between the Mexican house and the dacha is, I mean, in its own way, it's very unique because the windows in Russia, in Siberia, they're the main attraction. These windows that you're seeing behind me in the kitchen, in the living room, this style, it's just constant. You're going to see that everywhere. So I have my bed made here. I'll turn the camera and show you how the room looks like. The other rooms, my father's in there and a cousin, so I'm not going to show you their room. I'm going to show you how I set mine up. And so this room has 2 beds. I use this one for my clothes. There's the windows again, looking out towards the yard. I can stick my hand out. I can jump out if I need to. That's the neighbor's house. And inside, actually, my bed is made. If we need to, we can turn on the air, which I have it on because it is a little bit humid today. We don't worry about the cold here. We worry about the heat. My bed is made, but my most favorite part of a Mexican house is the bathroom. Because the bathrooms are so spacious. You see, this is huge. Look at that roof heading over. You have your natural light, natural air coming in through this window. So you're very close to nature. You have your toilet, your sink, and a place to dry your clothes, take off your clothes, and change if you need to. Well, guys, it's now time to test the waters here in the pool, and then we'll go out to the Pacific Ocean. So, for all my friends in Russia, I know that you're suffering right now because it's cold, but here it's absolutely not cold. So we're going to enjoy the Mexican way. This is Mexico in a small town. I'm gonna show you the beach. All right, let's go show you the beach now. Now that we're out of the water, you get to see what the situation looks like. A lot of people actually come here to learn how to surf because the water is not so cold and the waves are not that big, so they get to learn how to surf here. And actually, these people get instructors and they learn how to surf. This lady in the blue, we saw her out today. I think she caught a wave eventually, so you can actually rent a surfboard and have a coach teach you how to surf. I want you to have a last look here. You have the vegetation, the people surfing on the corner here, that's where the best waves come in. And right across from here, like I said, is Vladivostok. But people in Vladivostok are not surfing, are they? We showed you what a Mexican town is like, but now it's time to travel back to Guadalajara because we want to show you what a real Mexican city is like. And believe me, it's going to be unlike anything you've ever seen. So let's go, guys.